70% of workers in the world live paycheck to paycheck. And this also applies to those making six figures. 1 in 10 workers making $100,000 or more say they live paycheck to paycheck. But if you're stuck in this cycle, you don't have to stay there. This is very dangerous, as one unexpected occasion can drain all your money, probably leaving you homeless and poor. The situation can even be worse off if you are in your 40s or 50s, as there is nothing depressing as being old and poor. To get an extra breathing room with your money and gain financial security, you need to implement one or more of these tips immediately. 1. Save up for big purchases. Nothing makes you count down the minutes to payday more than if you just blew a ton of money on a big purchase. So if you see something coming, like you notice the tread is getting real worn on your tires, save up and pay cash. That way you're putting a little away each month instead of blowing an entire month's budget. Secondly, when you're living paycheck to paycheck, you shouldn't make non-essential big purchases. However, if you're putting away adequate savings for your goals and you have a healthy emergency fund, living paycheck to paycheck isn't necessarily a disaster. 1/4 of Americans have no money saved for an emergency, according to Bankrate, and 20% have less than 3 months of living expenses in the bank. Breaking this paycheck to paycheck cycle takes discipline and a plan. 2. Monitor your cash flow. If you're making $80,400 a year, you are depositing $6,700 a month into your bank accounts. Most people have taxes, some retirement contributions, and insurance payments taken from their paycheck before they ever see it. That's why monitoring your cash flow is important, because the money coming in is less valuable than the money going out. This may be the most challenging step you take. It involves double-checking your bills and bank statements to figure out where your funds go each month. To start, go back 2 months and make a list of where you spent money and how much was spent. Although the process may take less than an hour, it can feel longer as you realize the black holes into which your income disappears. One thing that may help with the process is to stop thinking of certain expenditures, like cable, lunches with friends, and new shoes, as bad. If it's legal to buy, there is no such thing as a good or bad purchase. If you spend an hour beating yourself up over how you've spent your money, it will lead to guilt. And when it comes to making healthy decisions, guilt is a hindrance. The trick is to figure out which purchases enhance your life and which make your life more difficult. 3. Track your spending. The next step to taking control of your finances is to figure out exactly where all your money is going. Many families don't realize they already have more than enough to cover their bills because their extra cash gets frittered away throughout the month. Your goal is to track down those hidden budget busters and eliminate them. So, for the next month, keep track of every single penny you spend, from your monthly rent payment to that dollar for a cup of coffee. Jot down your expenses in a notebook, or use a personal finance software like Mint to keep track of your spending. Make your list as detailed as possible by keeping the receipt so you can see exactly what you bought and what it cost. This will help you later when you're looking for expenses to cut. Make sure to include hidden expenses too, like bank fees or the interest you pay on credit card debt. Simply seeing all your expenses written down in black and white can be a revelation. For instance, you might realize you've been blowing nearly $30 a month on ATM fees. Seeing how much these nickel and dime expenses are costing you could be enough to shock you into changing your habits, freeing up cash in your budget at the end of each month. However, if you look at your expense list at the end of the month and still feel like you have no idea how to save, don't worry, your effort hasn't been wasted. It will help you move on to the next step, serious budgeting. Also, sometimes a paycheck-to-paycheck existence means you've locked yourself into a lifestyle you can't really afford. The general rule of thumb is that your monthly housing expenses should be 28% or less of your monthly gross income. If you are outside of that range, you may want to consider moving to a less expensive neighborhood or downsizing or getting a roommate. 4. Update your budget. Before you do anything, once you get paid, check in with your budget. Take a look at what your paycheck has to do before you spend any of it. You should update your paycheck in your income column in your budget, so you can accurately determine how much money you have for yourself and your bills. Update all your calculations to find out just how much money you have left over and what all your money will be covering. Once you have this information, you can start putting your money to work. 5. Pay yourself first. The most important money rules you should always follow with your money is to pay yourself first. This simply just means you need to save money. You need to put away money for your future, whether that be in a retirement fund, emergency savings, important sinking funds, or just a plain old savings account. If you ever want to achieve financial freedom, this is the most important rule you must follow. Experts say you should save 10% of your income, however, this isn't always possible for everyone. If this is your situation, first off, know that it's perfectly okay. You have to start somewhere, so just start where you can. Put away $5 a week, $20 from each paycheck, or whatever you can comfortably do. With time and consistency, you will be slowly able to save up to 10% of your money. Saving money is a habit you have to build and work towards. So don't worry if you struggle with this, as long as you are always working towards it. To help you make this step easier, you could make savings automatic. If you plan to save whatever's left over after you spend the rest of your paycheck, you'll never put anything away. Whether you're building up emergency savings or putting money away for retirement, that money should come out first, ahead of the rest of your spending. So set up an automatic transfer on paydays from your checking account to the savings account of your choice, or sign up for your company's 401k plan to have retirement savings happen automatically. The more you can put on autopilot, the better. Also, whenever you manage to save, make sure you're putting your dollars somewhere you can't easily get to them. If you can easily transfer funds same day from a savings account to a checking account at the same bank, those funds will often get spent. So, using an account that is not very accessible helps. That means an interest-earning savings account or money market at another institution. 6. Shop for your needs only. Once you pay yourself, the next most important thing you should do is cover your food and gas expenses. There are a few other essential bills that need to be paid right away, but getting groceries and gas are the most common bills that require you to physically go out and take care of. Before you go shopping, you should have a grocery list in hand with everything you are going to need to cover you until the next time you get paid. Having a list will save you a lot of money at the grocery store and save you from making multiple trips to the store, which can add up quickly. This also gives you the opportunity to use coupons and maximize your savings with apps like Ibotta to stay on budget or under it. Next, be sure to take care of your gas to ensure you will be able to get to work, and take care of all the things you have to do throughout the weeks until you get paid again. 7. Pay your bills. After you have saved a little money for yourself and shopped for your needs, you need to pay your bills. For this, refer back to your budget to figure out what bills you need to pay with your current paycheck. Also check to see what bills are on autopay. Advisably, you could have a checking account that all of your bills get paid through. So all you have to do is add up the bills that will be paid out of that account and move the money over. This makes paying bills super easy, and you can see right away how much money you have left over for the rest of your budget. 8. Get help. This tip is optional. To help you stay on track, you could choose someone to help you out. Compare it to working with a nutritionist or trainer to lose weight. Working with someone to hold yourself accountable can prevent you from backsliding from the previous tips. This person could be an advisor, relative, spouse, or a trusted friend to increase your chances of success.